watching Life and Style with Zara. Hello and welcome to Life and Style with Zara. I'm your host, Zara Durrani. As the population of our Earth continues to grow, making better use of our resources becomes more and more important. No longer can we as a society continue to be wasteful when it comes to food, fuel, or fashion. Today we'll be talking about going green and talking to experts about making sustainable choices in our daily lives. Let's see what they have to say. We are here at Science World with Erika Finlay, who is the curator as well as the program specialist. Erika, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you. It's amazing to be here. So what are we doing today?
We're going to be doing the Enviro Challenge. So this is a school workshop that we do with students grades 4 to 7, and we're going to test your composting IQ. So we're going to have you sort a few different items into 3 different trays and see if you can figure out which item belongs where.
All right, well, let's see how I'm going to do here.
Okay,
so I'm going to put on these gloves. And it's funny because the garbage can almost matches my shirt.
I know, color coordination. I think it means you were meant to be here today.
Yeah, well, I promise I wasn't planning on matching. So, what do you got for me?
Okay, so let's start off with an easy one, maybe a newspaper.
Okay. Recycle.
Good job. How about some styrofoam egg carton?
Okay, we can recycle this as well?
It goes in the garbage the majority of the time. Occasionally, retailers such as London Drugs will allow you to bring in styrofoam, but usually ends up in the garbage. Okay, this is a tricky one and a little bit of a gross one.
Okay, in the garbage, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And did you know that it takes about 500 years for the diaper to break down? So your diapers are probably still in a landfill somewhere.
Oh wow. Well, you know what? Actually, in Pakistan, where I'm from, we didn't use diapers growing up. It was more towels. More
cloth diapers.
Yes, exactly. And then I know it might sound gross, but they would just wash it off and then use it again.
And yeah, there's a lot of people in Vancouver that do the same. So that's actually the best choice for the environment here.
So I don't have one of those diapers.
I definitely do. My parents were not making those sustainable choices. Okay, let's try a granola bar box. Okay. And how about an item like this?
I'm pretty sure we can recycle this, right?
Actually, that paintbrush needs to be thrown in the garbage. It has mixed materials, so it makes it difficult for it to be recycled. So you'd have to either disassemble it and try to throw out the parts, but most people just pitch it in the garbage can.
Okay.
Okay. Christmas
garbage.
Item. That's right. And an item such
or you could give it away as well.
You could give it away.
Or keep it.
Or keep it. Or repurpose it for next year. Items such as that headband have something called embodied energy. So it's a real waste to just use it once and to throw it away, because it takes so much energy to actually fabricate the item as well as transport it across the country. And so it's best to try to repurpose it or to try and find a different use for it.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we'll try one more. A little bit of a beachy one.
So something like this, just like again, you would rather keep it or just give it to Value Village so somebody else can use it, right?
Definitely, and it's really important to educate yourself as to which plastics you can recycle. So if you look on the bottom of a pop bottle or on the bottom of a yogurt container, you'll find a number, and that number means that you can recycle it or you're not able to recycle it. So there's lots of websites that you can.
So the number here is
a 5, so that means it would be recyclable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or somebody like me can use this for lunch.
Yeah, that's
Or
right.
you could put, like you were saying, use it for soil.
Yeah.
Or just use it at home.
Definitely. And here at Science World, we like to use a lot of recycled materials for our crafts, for our weekend activities. Instead of going out and buying brand new containers, we will often use recyclables.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thanks for teaching us how to recycle and what to recycle and what to compost and what is garbage.
Oh, thanks for coming today.
To be green, well, we recycle. We pick up trash sometimes around places. Yeah.
And what do you do to stay green?
To stay green, I ride my bike almost every day, and as I do my work in the city, and eat very good, healthy food. A lot of it locally grown, and we take care of our house, make sure it's really efficient. We don't waste water and energy.
I recycle all my cans and paper. I don't use a lot of water. I actually am looking for a job, so instead of handing out people a 2-page resume, I use 1 page just to save a few trees, because we gotta save the trees.
I try to reuse even the disposable thing possible, or just use the regular plates at home or towels instead of paper towel. Yeah, whatever I can do on my part, use less water wherever I can, teach my kids the same thing.
Fashion Week. Myriam, how are you doing today?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. So tell us about Eco Fashion Week and your involvement.
Well, I founded Eco Fashion Week in October 2009, so it's going to be our 2-year anniversary. So it comes from my love for Vancouver. You know, I've been in fashion for 17 years, and when I moved here, I discovered another country. You know, Quebec is very old, different. It's different energy, and here you have the nature. It's such a young city where everything is to build. And when I learned that the city wanted to be the greenest city in the world by 2020, it clicked in my head. It made sense to have well, yeah, we need the fashion, you know, and
let's talk about what does it mean to wear sustainable fashion, or what is eco fashion really?
Okay, I like to call it responsible fashion. So. Okay. At the beginning, yes, there's damage that are causing, that is being caused by the clothing and the fashion industry to the planet. It's the 3rd most damaging industry on the planet. So yes, and I've been in the business for 17 years. I know I was a buyer. I was manufacturing clothes in Asia, and all this wastage was like driving me crazy. And so yes, we have that aspect of eco and for the planet, but we like to say responsible because it's the way you treat your employees, you know, and it's about for everybody to take information on the piece of clothes that you're buying, and just to take that time. Okay, do I really need it? First, being sustainable or responsible, do I need it? I don't know how many times I bought clothes that I never wore, you know?
That's just hanging in your closet, and a year later you find it, oh wow, with the tag on.
Oh, but I call it the in case, you know, it's on sale.
Yeah.
I can't not buy it. And in case that I use it. And so you have clothes and clothes and clothes, and you said, oh, but it was so cheap, you know, it was only $5 per t-shirt, so I bought all the colors, but you wear only 4 out of 7, you know, something like that. So it's just about, okay, when I buy a piece of clothes, do I need it? Where is it manufactured? Is there a story behind? I don't want us to point what's wrong and what's right. I want people to get educated and find the information, and after that make a choice that, you know, that is clear in their head. If they want to buy there at that store, I'm not judging where you buy. I'm not judging what you buy. It's about when you buy it, you feel responsible and happy to do it.
How do you feel Vancouver is compared to the rest of Canada when it comes to making eco-friendly choices in fashion?
Well, Vancouver is definitely a step ahead. Everybody, not only in Canada, in North America, and in the world, you know.
In the world?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Vancouver has been on the top 10 best city to live in for years now. And yes, regarding all this, I don't know if it's nature, I don't know if it's the weather, the climate, you know. I'm explaining that here, you know, all year long you can be in connection with nature, you can drive 20 minutes and you are doing snowboarding. So it's such a different lifestyle. It's a huge difference. In Quebec, during the winter, it's snow, and in the winter, most of the people, they stay inside. They don't go outside because it's so cold. So yes, all those solutions to be more responsible and bike. And
because people are getting a chance to be outdoors and get connected with the nature. Now let's talk about what are you hoping for in the future for Eco Fashion Week?
Well, that's what I want to make it easy for the industry to shift. Okay, H&M, the small boutique right there, the big guys, the smaller guys, we all have the same chance to be responsible, and it's people who are going to take action now, they're going to stay, you know, and it's there. And to be responsible, there's always different way when you're a chain store or an independent boutique, but there's ways to do it, and I want to be a tool for that. Like two times a year, the industry comes to Vancouver to get knowledge, to get tools, to find, for example, in Paris, in France, I mean, there's a brand of denim jeans called Marité François Girbeau. 40 years ago, they claimed that they invented the stone washing. Now they just copyright a machine called Watt Wash. So they wash denim with light. It's like a photocopier. So you put your big piece of indigo, black, and you wash it, but it's without water. So it's huge. You know, denim takes, I don't know, 3.5 or to 4.5 liter of water per pair of jeans. Every time you do a pair of jeans, it's like 3 to 4 liter of water that you put like on the floor. Like people like needs water in Africa. It's kind of crazy. So if we could find some way, so next season I hope to have them coming and speak at the event and see some head office looking at those technologies and say, okay, let's try to work that. So I'm very excited because it's a new industry. Everything is to build. We all have the same chance, and that's what we want to do with Eco Fashion Week.
Fantastic. Well, I'm sure with your passion and, you know, with your inspiration, a lot of people in Vancouver as well as around the world are going to take notice and make changes. And we're excited to come and visit you at Eco Fashion Week. We're here with Severn-Cullis Suzuki. At the age of 12, she was a young girl who silenced the world for 6 minutes. Right now, Severn is working with the United Nations Conference for Sustainable Development. Severn, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. You're so busy, just coming back from Europe. Now, tell us about Earth Summit 2012.
Well, next year is an important anniversary for those people who are engaged in environmental change and sustainability and development. And that's because it's the 20-year anniversary of the Earth Summit in Rio in 1992. And this was the largest gathering of heads of state that came together to discuss environment and development. And several groundbreaking agreements were signed pledging to convert our society to a sustainable one.
Now, how important do you feel now it is to implement these changes, and what sort of changes are we asking for?
Well, the hard thing about taking a 20-year reflection is that it's really very clear that we haven't made that sustainability transition. And so I think next year and leading up is very key for reflecting, okay, how come as a society when all of these big leaders came together and said, yes, we're going to be environmental, how come it didn't happen? So, it's really key, but really the economy has been the focus of governments. And
I mean, in Vancouver, we're trying to be one of the greenest cities in the world, and I feel we're really getting there.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. And we are making quite a few advancements on the more local level. So, you know, I mean, when you take a macro look at, I'm an ecologist, so, you know, it comes down to the basic realities of what the planet can sustain: air, water, biodiversity. And on that front, we're not doing very well. We have climate change now. That's a huge new development since 20 years ago. I mean, we knew it was happening, but now it's here. And so things are really on a macro level, it's hard. But if you look at the municipalities, there are a lot of examples of how people are making change. So that is somewhere that I think next year at the summit, they're going to be talking about, okay, who are the players who can actually implement these high level discussions? And it's definitely about cities, grassroots movements, individuals. So on the international stage, the current government, the current regime has been but not taken a leadership stance. And I was just in Europe and talking to other officials, other NGOs, other activists, other negotiators. It was really clear that Canada is just known as being really obstructionist to the progress on the international level, which I think is quite shocking, because we, you know, we pride ourselves on being a green country. We have so much natural space. We, you know, we love the clean air and clean water that we have, but we are, as a government, our government is really taking that for granted, and we have a real agenda of exploitation.
Now, other than on the level of us as a country, but what about individuals, people that are watching, viewers at home? What are some of the little changes that we can make?
Well, I think that there's so many things that we can do, and the last few years have just been, the media has just been full of, you know, 10 things you can do to save the earth, and, you know, 365 ways to, you know, be more sustainable. And so there's lots of examples out there. I kind of, just to kind of simplify my life, and when I get overwhelmed, I think, oh gosh, all these problems. Okay, fine, what can I do? I just think of it as two things that we all can do. One is we have to reduce our ecological footprint. So the ecological footprint basically means just how much we use. Everything comes from the earth, so how much from
how much are we consuming?
How much are we consuming, and how much we waste. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, that means things like, yeah, you know, watch your water consumption and energy use, your transportation.
I actually watched the documentary about your dad at last year's film festival, Force of Nature. Mm-hmm. And I remember David Suzuki saying that the way we're consuming, it's almost as if we had 3 Earths. That's three right. times the planet of what we have right now. The way we're consuming everything, doesn't matter if it's like from electronics to clothing or food or whatever.
That's right. I mean, the way that we've set up our economy is we've built in obsolescence. So, you know, it really, our phones don't work after a year or two. I mean, these things that we now have to buy every few years are just part of our society and part of the way it is the middle class. And, you know, I just look at kids today and, you know, I have a child now, I'm expecting another one, and I feel definitely like a different generation. But I look at children who have their iPhones or at least iPods.
At the age of 5 or 6.
I know,
yeah, that's shocking.
I remember saving up for a Walkman when I was 15, and, you know, I bought my own CD Walkman, and that was a big deal for me. And, you know, I just would never be given a $300 gift. And, you know, I consider myself, you know, our family is pretty well off, we've been fine, but, you know, now the level of what's expected socially and what's just, you know, the wealth that we have, I think we have a shifting baseline. So we just, you know, that's just the way it is now. And that will not be able to be sustained simply because we don't have enough resources on the planet to actually sustain throwing out our cell phones, having new iPods every 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 years. Like, it's just impossible. And then you have, you know, China and India who are coming up as these economic powerhouses, the answer to Europe and North America being in total financial ruin. And they're saying, all right, we're becoming developed, and you guys have set the bar for what development means, and developing means this totally unsustainable, opulent lifestyle. So, you know, how can the West say, you guys can't have a car per family, or 2 cars per families, or 3 cars per families? That's just us, and we found out actually our planet can't sustain 7 billion people like that. There's no, like, we have no right to do that.
When I first came to Vancouver, I was surprised by how clean it was. There was no garbage on the streets. The air felt so smooth like silk. And when I first went to a beach, I was surprised that I didn't see shopping bags and garbage on the beaches. So I feel that we're very much well on our way when it comes to becoming one of the greenest cities in the world. It's the little things that make the big difference, and I think all of us can make little choices that will help make our planet, make our city cleaner, safer, and better for ourselves as well as our future generations. Until next time, I'm your host, Zara Durrani. Make sure to check out our website, lifeandstylewithzara.com, as well as find us on Facebook and Twitter. And talking to experts who'll teach us what to do.
It's true.
We're doing 2. We want B. Oops. B.